Listen up, wheel gun enthusiasts. We need to have ourselves a little talk about that 6-shooter you're so proud of. Your revolver choice isn't just a firearm preference, it's a full psychological profile with a trigger. So let's break down what that spinning cylinder says about your personality, your life choices, and probably your dating history too. Let's get started. Smith Wesson Model 686. 686 is your baby, isn't it? You don't just own this revolver, you worship at its stainless steel altar. When you pull this thing out at the range, you make sure everyone sees it, casually placing it on the bench like, oh, this old thing. Just my precision-engineered hand cannon that costs more than your car payment. Your personality is 80% reliability complex and 20% nostalgia for a time you never actually lived through. You clean this revolver more often than you wash your sheets, and yes, we all notice. The 686 owner believes firmly in quality over quantity, which is what you tell yourself when your buddy with the Glock dumps 17 rounds before you've finished your 6. You own at least 3 leather holsters that you never use and have definitely practiced your quick draw in the bathroom mirror while whispering, "Make my day," under your breath. Deep down, you're convinced this gun will outlive you, your children, and possibly human civilization itself, and honestly, you might be right. Every time someone mentions polymer, you visibly cringe and start muttering about craftsmanship and balance and feel. You've named your 686 probably something like Excalibur or Justice, and occasionally whisper to it when nobody's around. You aren't just shooting, you're participating in a tradition, damn it. Ruger GP100. So, you picked the tank of the revolver world, huh? You don't just want a gun, you want something that could double as a boat anchor or a self-defense hammer if ammo runs out. The GP100 is basically what happens when someone says, "make it sturdy," and Ruger takes it as a personal challenge. Your defining personality trait is stubbornness with a side order of practicality. You don't care about pretty, you care about functionality. Your idea of maintenance is occasionally wiping it down with an old shirt, and you secretly believe that cleaning is mostly for those fancy Smith & Wesson owners who are afraid to get their hands dirty. You've definitely said the phrase, "they don't make them like this anymore," while sitting in a deer blind, despite the fact that Ruger is still very much making them exactly like this. In your truck is a toolbox, a first aid kit, and emergency supplies because you're prepared for anything, except maybe spontaneity. The GP100 is the revolver equivalent of a Carhartt jacket. Not sexy, not flashy, but damn if it won't keep working long after everything else has fallen apart. Just like your first marriage. Colt Python. Oh sweet fancy Moses, you didn't just buy a gun, you bought artwork. The Python isn't your revolver, it's your midlife crisis wrapped in royal blue finish and walnut grips. When you purchased this beauty, you didn't think of it as spending money, you invested in a legacy piece. Your friends are tired of hearing about your Python. They've stopped asking about your weekend because they know you'll somehow steer the conversation back to hand-polished internal parts and that butter-smooth trigger pull. Your spouse rolls their eyes whenever you lovingly clean it at the kitchen table, which is way too often. You're the type who's memorized the serial number range for different production years, and you have strong opinions about pre-1975 versus post-1975 manufacturing. Each time someone calls it just a revolver, a little piece of your soul withers and dies. It's not just a revolver, it's a Python, for God's sake. Half your phone's storage consists of photos of this gun in various lighting conditions. You've definitely described it as sensual at least once, which made everyone uncomfortable. But here's the kicker, you rarely shoot the damn thing because you're terrified of devaluing your investment. It's less a firearm and more a trophy that you occasionally fondle while watching Western movies. Taurus Judge. Well, 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 look who walked in thinking outside the box and ended up somewhere weird. Judge owners don't follow rules, they barely follow logic. You didn't buy a revolver, you bought a conversation piece that happens to go boom. Your personality is 50% what-if scenarios, 30% apocalypse preparation, and 20% terrible practical jokes. You love telling people it shoots shotgun shells with a gleam in your eye that makes them take one step back. The Judge isn't your everyday carry, it's your what if I encounter a rattlesnake while simultaneously being mugged solution. You fired it exactly twice. First time was to see what it felt like. Answer: painful. Second time was to show your buddy Dave, who didn't believe you when you said it shoots both 410 shot shells and 45 Colt. Every time you bring it to the range, someone asks to try it, and you say, sure, but brace yourself with way too much enthusiasm. The judge is the mullet of firearms. Business in the front, party in the back, questionable choice overall. But damn if you ain't having fun with it. Your home defense strategy involves this monstrosity and a lot of optimism about your aim under pressure. When people ask why, your answer is always, why not? Which pretty much sums up your approach to most of life's decisions. Smith & Wesson Model 629. The 629 isn't just your gun, it's your personality substitute. You watched Dirty Harry one too many times and decided that .44 Magnum was the minimum acceptable caliber for someone with your particular brand of masculinity. Your wrist disagrees, but you'll never admit it. Every time you shoot this hand cannon, bystanders at the range look over, which is exactly what you want. The noise, the flash, the recoil, it's all part of the experience that you crave. You've practiced your "do you feel lucky" speech in private more times than you'd ever admit publicly. You claim it's your woods gun for bear protection, despite living in suburban Ohio, where the most dangerous wildlife is the neighbor's aggressive chihuahua. Your friends have stopped inviting you to casual plinking sessions because they're tired of having their eardrums assaulted while you grin maniacally through the pain of another cylinder dump. The 629 is basically a status symbol that goes boom. You've got at least 2 different holsters for it, both impractical, and you've definitely considered mounting a scope on it for hunting, even though we both know that's not happening. Deep down, you're seeking validation through firepower, and this stainless steel hand cannon delivers it in spades. If you enjoyed this content, we'd be truly grateful if you'd take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. It costs nothing but a click of your time, yet it makes an incredible difference in helping our channel grow and allowing us to continue creating content you love. Your support means the world to us. Now, let's return to the video. Ruger Red Hawk. Ah, the Red Hawk. For when you wanted a 629 but have an inexplicable loyalty to Ruger. You're the practical heavy hitter, the person who needs people to know you shoot serious calibers but doesn't need the flashy reputation of a Smith & Wesson. The Red Hawk is your way of saying I'm serious about big bore revolvers without being showy about it. Your personality revolves around understated competence with occasional flashes of overkill. You know exactly how much your hand loads cost per round to the 10th of a cent. Your friends describe you as reliable but intense, which is exactly how you describe your beloved Red Hawk. You've had the same haircut for 15 years, you own multiple plaid shirts that are nearly identical, you have strong opinions about truck brands and coffee strength. When someone asks you why you need a revolver that powerful, you launch into a prepared speech about stopping power and energy transfer that leaves them nodding politely while looking for an escape route. Deep down, you like knowing your gun could stop a charging rhino even though you mainly use it to punch paper at the local indoor range. The Red Hawk isn't just a purchase, it's a commitment to a philosophy of more than enough is just enough. Colt Single Action Armory. Well, howdy there, cowpoke. You didn't just buy a gun, you bought a time machine to an era you have heavily romanticized. The Single Action Army isn't your sidearm, it's your historical reenactment prop, your connection to the mythical Old West, and probably your favorite conversation starter at parties where nobody asked. You own at least 1 pair of custom boots, a hat you paid too much for, and you have used the word varmint unironically. Your gun cabinet has more historical firearms than practical ones, and you've seriously considered building a replica saloon in your basement. Your spouse has vetoed this multiple times. Shooting this revolver isn't just recreational, it's a ritual. You lovingly load 1 round, skip 1, load 4 more, and ease the hammer down on the empty chamber while whispering what sounds suspiciously like sweet nothings to an inanimate object. Modern safety features? Those are for people without our level of historical appreciation. Half your YouTube history is westerns and gun reviews from guys with magnificent mustaches. You've definitely practiced twirling this thing, resulting in at least 1 minor injury you told no one about. Every time you fire it, you imagine tumbleweeds and hear Ennio Morricone in your head. You don't just own a SAA. You're keeping the spirit of the frontier alive, 1 painfully slow reload at a time. Smith & Wesson Model 10. The Model 10 owner is an old soul trapped in, well, Probably an old body, too. You didn't choose this revolver, it chose you, probably via inheritance or a particularly good garage sale find. This isn't just a wheel gun, it's how they used to make them. Your personality is equal parts practicality and stubborn resistance to change. You still write checks at the grocery store, you've owned the same wallet for 20+ years, you believe firmly that policing went downhill when they switched from revolvers to semi-autos, and you've shared this opinion unprompted at family gatherings. The Model 10 isn't flashy, but neither are you. It's reliable, straightforward, and has probably been fired more times than you've had hot dinners. When younger shooters bring their tactical Wonder 9s to the range, you just smile knowingly and proceed to outshoot them with your outdated 6-shooter. You clean your gun with products that have been around since before World War II and see no reason to change. Innovation is fine for other people, but you'll stick with what works. Thank you very much. The Model 10 isn't just your sidearm, it's confirmation that your resistance to change has been right all along. Ruger SP101. The SP101 is the revolver for people who want everyone to know they carry but don't want to be too obvious about it. It's small but not too small, powerful but not too powerful, the Goldilocks of wheel guns. And that's exactly how you see yourself, just right. Your personality is surprisingly pragmatic for someone who chose a revolver as a carry piece in the age of micro-compacts with triple the capacity. You use phrases like 5 for sure beats maybe 15, and no failures to feed with a wheel gun, with absolute conviction. You've practiced your reload until it's smoother than your dating game. The SP101 is built like a tank, and you take pride in that, mentioning its durability approximately 12 seconds after introducing it to anyone new. Your nightstand has a permanent ring where you set it each night, and your significant other has long stopped noticing the weight difference when they borrow your jacket. Your EDC setup costs more than your first car, but you justify it as life insurance you can use. You've definitely practiced drawing from concealment in your bedroom mirror, complete with action movie one-liners that would make you die of embarrassment if anyone ever heard them. Taurus Tracker. So you wanted a serious revolver, but didn't want to pay serious money. Enter the Tracker. Your friends with Smiths and Colts give you side-eye at the range, but you just smile because you spent the savings on ammo and actually practiced. Smart move, probably. Your personality is defined by finding the practical middle ground. You drive a reliable but unexciting car. You shop at mid-range stores. You're the person who always finds a reasonable compromise in group decisions. The Tracker reflects this, not top tier, not bottom barrel, just solidly in the middle. You've definitely defended your choice with the phrase, just as good as, followed by naming a revolver costing twice as much. When someone mentions the recall from years ago, you get slightly defensive and point out how reliable yours has been, thank you very much. Deep down, you sometimes wonder if you should have saved longer for that Smith, but then you remember the 3 extra boxes of ammo you bought with the difference and feel vindicated. The Tracker isn't just your gun, it's your philosophical approach to life embodied in stainless steel. Good enough is good enough. Smith & Wesson Model 642. The 642 owner isn't just carrying a gun. They're carrying a compromise wrapped in aluminum alloy, small enough to hide anywhere, but painful enough to shoot that you question your choices after every range session. This snubby isn't your favorite gun, it's your necessary evil. Your personality trait is pragmatic paranoia with a side of fashion consciousness. You want protection without printing through that tailored jacket. The 642 stays hidden in places other guns simply can't go, which gives you a smug sense of security, even if it means limiting yourself to 5 rounds. You've mastered the pocket draw, despite never needing it outside the safety of your bedroom practice sessions. The 642 has left small calluses on your hand from shooting that you regard as badges of honor. When someone asks if it's hard to shoot accurately, you lie and say, you get used to it, despite never quite getting used to it yourself. This isn't the gun you love, it's the gun you need. Like a pair of uncomfortable dress shoes or a tie that's slightly too tight, you endure it because the alternative, going unprotected, is unthinkable. The 642 isn't your revolver, it's your uncomfortable compromise with reality. Ruger LCR. LCR carriers are the hipsters of the revolver world. You could have gone with the traditional J-frame from Smith, but no, you needed something different. Something that says, I'm practical but also slightly progressive. The polymer frame just spoke to you on a spiritual level. The personality splits perfectly between wanting tradition, revolver, and craving innovation, polymer. You probably drive a hybrid car but still insist on manual transmission. Your coffee order takes 30 seconds to explain but includes traditional preparation methods. You're a walking contradiction and you like it that way. You've absolutely used the phrase best of both worlds when describing your LCR to people who didn't ask. You carry it in a holster that costs almost as much as the gun itself. Each time you pull this ugly duckling out at the range, you feel compelled to explain its advantages over a J-frame to anyone within earshot, emphasizing that butter-smooth trigger pull as though you discovered it yourself. The LCR isn't just your concealed carry, it's your statement piece that ironically stays concealed. It's the revolver for people who want a revolver but can't quite let go of modern materials. Kind of like putting an avocado on a traditional hamburger and calling it fusion cuisine. Colt King Cobra. King Cobra owners have strong opinions about the revolver renaissance. You didn't just buy this snake gun, you participated in the revival of an icon. The fact that you paid premium prices for a name that disappeared and reappeared means you're either deeply committed to tradition or easily influenced by marketing, possibly both. Your personality revolves around second chances and nostalgia for things you might be too young to actually remember. You use words such as technically newer, heritage, and legacy when discussing a gun that is in fact newer than your smartphone. Holding one of these revolvers, you can't help but feel connected to a generation's long line of shooters. Conveniently forgetting the production gap. You've inevitably compared the new King Cobra to the original in-gun shop chatter, even if you've never actually held an original. You have strong opinions about the new Cobra versus the King Cobra that you share unprompted. Your social media has at least one artsy black and white photo of this revolver, possibly with selective color on the Colt medallion. The King Cobra isn't just your gun, it's your statement that some things deserve resurrection. And maybe, just maybe, spending premium prices on revived names makes more sense than buying established competitors that never went away. It's complicated, just like you pretend to be. Taurus Raging Hunter. Well, hello there. Compensating for something? The Range Hunter isn't just oversized, it's a declaration of war against subtlety. You didn't buy a revolver, you bought a hand cannon that happens to have a cylinder. This monstrosity isn't about practicality, it's about presence. Your personality is 90% go big or go home and 10% secret wrist pain that you'll never admit to anyone. You use phrases like, felt recoil is actually manageable, while your shooting hand quietly weeps. The first time you fired this beast, you involuntarily made a sound that you hope nobody heard. You've definitely mounted a scope on this revolver because apparently it wasn't ridiculous enough straight from the factory. Your range bag has a special compartment just for this gun because it won't fit anywhere else. When you bring it to the range, you secretly time how long it takes for someone to ask if you can shoot it. Average 4.7 minutes. The Raging Hunter isn't your everyday carry unless you're leading safari tours. It's your statement piece, your conversation starter, your yes, it really is necessary gun. When people ask why you need something this powerful, you launch into elaborate scenarios involving wild boar attacks despite living in suburban Philadelphia. Smith Wesson Governor. The Governor owner didn't just think outside the box, they set the box on fire and danced around it. This isn't a gun, it's an identity crisis made of metal. Can't decide between a revolver and a shotgun? Why not both? And throw in some 45 ACP with moon clips because why not complicate things further? Your personality is defined by refusing to make clear choices. Your Netflix queue is a disaster of half-watched shows. Your closet contains clothes for at least 3 different body sizes. You can never decide what to order at restaurants and end up getting an appetizer as a main course. You've practiced saying, "It shoots 3 different calibers," with a straight face despite knowing deep down that this makes absolutely no practical sense. Your ammo box is an organizational nightmare that would give Marie Kondo heart palpitations. Every time you load this thing, you have to think carefully about what exactly you're chambering. The Governor isn't your practical choice, it's your fantasy scenario enabler. You've thought way too much about optimal load combinations for the zombie apocalypse. You own tactical shotgun shell holders despite rarely using shotgun shells. Your gun isn't just a firearm, it's a conversation piece that screams, "Prepared for anything," while whispering, "Master of nothing." And there you have it. Your wheel gun choice reveals your personality better than any personality test. Whether it's a snubby or hand cannon, your revolver speaks volumes. In a world of high-capacity options, there's something timeless about mastering those 6 rounds. Quality over quantity, always. If you enjoyed this, subscribe to Guns You Can't Live Without and hit that notification bell. Keep those cylinders spinning, wheel gun enthusiasts.